It's Dainá, it's Dainá, it's Dainá, it's Dainá, whoop, whoop, whoop. Yo, what's good? It's your girl Dainá. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, do I have a story for you? So some of you are already familiar with my second channel with my husband Ahmet, where we post challenges, vlogs, and all that sort of stuff. So we have a channel called Dainá and Ahmet, and we went to China and we vlogged on that channel. Now, in one of the vlogs from China, you guys remember I came out of this experience pissed. Okay, I was pissed, and everybody wants to know what happened in that room. Everyone in the comment section of that particular vlog, what happened in that room? What happened in that room? What happened in that room? Well, today I'm gonna tell you what happened in that room, yeah? I ain't done a story time in a minute, so I don't even know where to begin with my storytellings. I'm just gonna tell you what happened in China. In that facility, in that establishment, okay? So we were in China for a press trip with Huawei, and they basically set up a whole entire itinerary of list of things that we can do, activities. They just basically set us up. They had us nice. So they had us in a nice like 5-star hotel. Everything was popping. We went to Shanghai and we also went to Shenzhen. So we were just living our best life in China. We're like, yes, we're just out here with the new Huawei phone. We're just documenting, we're vlogging, living our best life, like I said. So one of the activities that were planned for all of us, because it was a group, it wasn't just us, it was a big group of us. One of the activities that were planned was I think they call it a live cinema experience. I don't know exactly what it's called, but basically what it was supposed to be was we all go in and it's like a movie is acting out in front of us and we are there in front, like we are there in the movie. We're on set, except ain't no cameras. So like I said, there was a group of us. There was probably a group of about 10 of us, or maybe 10 to 15 of us. So we all went there as a group. So when you go in now, they take your phone from you, they take cameras, they take anything that you can use to document, they take it, they put it in a bag, and they lock it shut and they don't give you the key. So already we're thinking, okay, cool. Once we go in here, we can't document nothing, we can't see nothing. That's the first step. So we do that, we go up the lift. It's a whole different ball game here. Then they give us these masks. These masks are the creepiest flipping masks I've ever seen in my life. I'm gonna insert a picture here. This is the mask, okay? This is the exact mask. I actually brought mine back with me, but it's upstairs somewhere, but this is the exact mask, okay, that they gave everyone. So everyone got one of these masks and were told to put them on and do not take them off the entire time you are going through this experience. Do not take your mask off. We're like, okay, not gonna take our mask off. So you go through the other door and then they give you a card, like a playing card. Everyone has a different playing card. I think like I had a jack. Some of them had like kings, queens, like they give you all a different playing card. I had a jack. So we go in, we get our playing card, and then we go through the little curtain door thing, and then we're in a bar. It looks like a bar. It looks like a nice little swanky 90s, 40s jazz kind of musician kind of bar. And like there's a woman on stage, like an Asian woman. She's in like some nice gown. She's got like one of them fans. You know like the lady in the Smooth Criminal video, the one that's like... She was basically giving me that. She was giving me all of that and more. So I'm like looking around. By the way, we've got these ugly masks on our face. Everyone's wearing them because as well as our big group, there's a bunch of other people that have come to the experience. So when we get into the bar, there's at least 50 people when we go in, all strangers, a bunch of strangers, all here for the same experience. So there's about 10 from my group and then 40 other strangers who just came for the experience too. So there's just a bunch of people in this bar wearing the same exact mask. Obviously, I know who my group is and I know who I'm with because I recognize everyone's clothes. Everybody knows what we were wearing. So I'm not like lost. I know who I came with. I know what Ahmet, my husband, is wearing. First of all, I know exactly what he's wearing. They start to get drinks at the bar because they say you can just basically wait around until you are given instructions. So already this is exciting. We're like, okay, wait around until you're given instructions. Okay, what instructions are we gonna be getting? So then they're getting drinks at the bar. I'm just kind of like looking around. So then this guy comes out. He is like wearing a suit, he's wearing like a tuxedo kind of thing, and he basically has the deadest look on his face, like he looks literally... So already I'm thinking, okay, it's starting, the cinema experience is starting. So then he starts shouting, he basically says, if you have a jack card, come this way. But he says it, I can't even remember the exact words he says, but he said it like, so, if you have a jack, come this way. Like it was so like, like it was serious, like it was really serious. So then I'm looking at my card, I have a Jack, I have a Jack, I have a Jack. I'm saying to everybody else in the group, and I'm saying to Ahmet, what card have you got? What card have you got? I've got a Jack. And then Ahmet had like a Queen or something. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be split up from you guys. I think I was the only one from my group with the Jack. I actually was. So all the rest of the group stayed by the bar and I was the only one that was leaving. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm being split up already and nobody else from the group is coming with me. Why me? So then obviously there's a bunch of other people that are just there for the experience. They also have Jacks. So I think about 10 of us had Jacks. About 10 of us had Jacks. So it was me, a bunch of strangers. We're all walking with our masks, following this man with a tuxedo. He opens a curtain, we go behind the curtain, and then there's like a dark lift. And then before he even presses the button for the lift, like the square section where the lift is very small. So we're all just cramped up there looking at him like, why ain't he pressing the lift? He turns around and he basically lets us know there is no filming allowed here, there's no talking to each other allowed, do not speak, do not laugh, do not nothing, like always keep it moving. There's no holding hands, there's no touching each other, there's no nothing, like literally be on your own. There's no friendship here. It basically, like, there's a sign behind him also. He's saying all of this in Mandarin, I think that's what he was speaking, but he's saying all of this in a different language. I was just reading the English translation in the big poster behind him because he kind of motioned to let everybody know what I'm saying is basically what this says in English. So basically it says, no friends, you ain't no friend, pally up in here, like this is your own journey, make your own story, ain't no walking around as a group, go and explore and basically find out your own kind of thing. This is basically a solo dolo experience. So after he explains all of that in Mandarin, he turns around, presses the lift, it opens and we all get in. So the lift is very dark. It's giving me very much Saw vibes, like, do you want to play a game? Like, I don't understand, like, why it was so freaking dark. And it just looked very scary and everyone was silent. And just imagine a tiny, broke down looking Saw kind of looking lift. Very tiny, dark. And then I'm standing there with a bunch of strangers and we're all wearing their masks. We're just all standing there wearing their masks in this flipping silent, dead silent, cramped up lift. So we get to one floor. I thought we were all about to walk out. No, he had other plans. When I tell you, he took one person, I don't know if it was a girl or a guy, I can't remember, pushed them out the lift. He just pushed them out the lift, he pushed them out the lift, he pushed them out the lift, and then the lift closed. I'm like, why did he do that? We get up to the next floor, it stops again. He pushes 2 more out the lift. I'm like, why does he keep pushing people out the lift? I'm realizing now he's pushing people out like individually or 2 by 2 or whatever on the floor. I'm like, no, I'm not having it. I tried to scoot to the back. I'm like, no, don't. You're not pushing me out of no lift on my own. Like, where am I going? I don't understand. Where am I going? So we get to the next floor, he does it again. By the time we get to the top floor, which I guess was the last one, there was 3 of us left in the lift. Luckily, I didn't get pushed out on my own like the first person did because I would have cried and I probably would have quit. So we get out of the lift. When the lift opens, I'm telling you, I'm in Narnia. Like, I don't understand. I'm in Narnia. There's like gloomy branches. There's trees everywhere. It looks like a movie set, but it doesn't look like a movie set. It looks real. It's like you can tell it's a set, but it looks legit real. Like, I would feel like it was real if I knew I wasn't in a building. It looked that real. You're hearing like sounds, nature sounds. There's like creepy music playing really low. There's trees everywhere. The light is dark. It's dark. It's very dark, but it looks like nighttime dark. I don't know how they got the lighting to look like nighttime dark. So I'm just like, what am I doing? I don't actually know what I'm doing. So I start walking. As I'm walking, I see some more people with all the masks. Every time I see someone with a mask, I kind of like go that way because I'm like, okay, we're here, we're all here for the experience. So let me just, every time I see a mask, I'm gonna go see what they're looking at. So I go to one room, there's this man and this woman, they're doing like a big contemporary dance on top of a piano. He chokes her, she slaps him. Like, there's blood everywhere, all over the shirt. There's blood all over their shirts. They're rolling around, they start kissing. There's like crazy music going on. I'm realizing, okay, I'm like, okay, I don't know what this contemporary dance kind of means. I can't get this. I don't know if they're fighting. I don't know if they're, you know, making up. So I just walk along. I'm like, let me just leave everybody because they're all like standing by the doorway watching all this happen. I just leave. I walk off. As I'm walking, I find a door. I go through it. I find some stairs. I go down the stairs. I end up in a hotel lobby. It looked like an old school 1950s hotel lobby. Like, I'm talking like with the bell on the desk and the ding ding and people coming in with briefcase and little suits and da 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 da. So I see a man, he's working behind the reception. There's a man at the reception. Like, they're giving you scenes, okay? They're giving you, I really thought I was in a hotel. So I basically walk in, I see maybe 2 other people with masks on. I guess they're waiting around as well to see what's happening. The guy's just minding his business. He ain't paying nobody no mind. He's wiping the table. He's like, you know, setting things up. Then all of a sudden, some Asian woman walks through and she's got like a briefcase in her hand. She's got a hat and all of that. She walks over to the desk. She walks past all of us. Like, they don't pay you no mind, which is so cool. Like, they literally don't pay you no mind. She walks all the way to the desk. They don't talk though. Like, this whole scene that is being set out is being set out with facial expressions, movement, and like you can just hear music in the back. So they're clearly like body language communicating. He basically takes her case. He tells her to go and sit down. He doesn't physically say it. He doesn't verbally say it, but you can just see through the body language and what she does. He basically tells her to go sit down in the reception area where I was standing. So she comes and sits right next to me. I'm like, okay, I got a front row seat for the scene. Okay, so she sits down. He offers her tea. He comes over, he gives her tea. They're giving each other like weird looks. It's like, it's very weird. The whole situation is very weird. While she's drinking tea, he's trying to like distract her, and then he's going behind her back and taking her suitcase and opening it. Then he finds something. This whole time she doesn't know he's going through the suitcase. Like, a bunch of stuff happens. She ends up realizing, she picks up the case, she gets angry, she runs away. The freaking, the receptionist guy, he starts crying. Someone else comes in. Like, it's mad. Like, a whole scene is coming. I don't know what the story is to this day, but let's just say madness was happening. So as that scene is basically over, he leaves the room, and then we start following. Like, when he was leaving, we started following him. He went to like a phone box, he called someone, and basically we kept following him everywhere. Like, he would go through the entire building, we would follow him. So we followed him to another room where there's more actors. They're doing something else. Like, basically every single room there was actors, something was going on. There was a big story that we were supposed to, I guess, piece together. I guess that's what it meant by create your own story. I don't know what story I was creating. All I know is I was just walking around in this scary ass building by myself. Like, I honestly felt like I was in Amityville Horror. Like, it was scary. So I'm walking around, I end up by myself again. I don't see anybody else with masks, and I see some other guy. He's like stumbling down the hall with blood all over his shirt. He's got blood all over his head. He stops, he walks past me. He stops, he looks in the mirror. He's like checking out his wounds. Then he goes somewhere else. I thought, let me just follow him. Like, let me see what his story is. Let me follow him. I follow him. He ends up banging on someone's door. There's like someone passed out on the floor. Like, people are just, it's all mad. Obviously, I keep going through rooms. So I can't explain every single room and every single story I saw, but just know it was that kind of vibe. Like, it's just mad. So eventually I start to notice people from the group are in the building now. And I noticed that basically all the stairs going to different floors and stuff, we can all access the same floor. So where people were pushed out of the lift early, they could have easily walked up the stairs to where I was. Everybody is in the same building. Nobody's like trapped from a certain area. I guess they just wanted to like push people out separately so nobody stays together, like it says in the rules. This ain't a friendship thing. Make your own journey, da 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 da. So I guess that's why they like push people out separately. So I start seeing people from my group. I'm like, okay, you guys have been let in now. I see Ahmet. And then he's just walking around. I stay with him for a little bit, and then we split up again. So I go into this other room, and it's like a club. It's like a sit down club though, you know, like where you sit down and listen to someone like perform on stage. So there's a couple sitting there, and that's it. And then there's a woman on the stage, and she's singing My Funny Valentine, but she's not really singing it, she's miming it, but she's like singing. That's the scene. And the music starts to get really scary. The bartender, he's attending to this couple. He's giving them like wine or whatever, and he keeps making the guy drink. And you can see that the girl doesn't want it to happen. She's like, no, I don't want to drink. And she's like looking at her boyfriend like, stop, please stop drinking, kind of thing. And they keep making him drink. And the woman on stage, she's singing My Funny Valentine, but then it starts getting really deep and scary. Like, it's like, my funny Valentine. And then she's like looking, she's like, my funny. Bruh. So she literally starts getting all possessed and demonic. And at this point, 2 other people come out with the bartender and they're like forcing the guy to drink the drinks. He's like all flat out. They start forcing the girl to drink the drinks, and she looks really scared, and they kind of like hold her head back, put the drinks in. Then they start doing this contemporary dance where they're lifting her in the air. She's flying through the ceiling. She's grabbing onto the ceiling and fly kicking and doing all this sort of stuff. I couldn't tell if that scene was supposed to be her fighting or her being drunk. I don't know, but it was good. It was really good. Like the way she was like flying in the air and people picking her up, spinning her around, did a contemporary dance and da-da-da-da. It was really good. But yeah, after the woman on the stage, she left. It was just all very like really, it was really, she just looked possessed. Everyone looked possessed. Another Asian woman came out. Her hair was all wet. She looked possessed. Like people were kissing and like it was weird. Like it was really weird. So I go to another room and then it's like strobe lights. I'm talking strobe lights. If anyone had epilepsy, they would not be able to go there. Like it was people are like dancing. They're like, yeah. This time I actually heard sound. This is the first time I heard sound. There was a bunch of us in there, by the way. There was like a bunch of people that were here for the experience in this one room. This was like a proper demonic like club. People were screaming, yeah! And you have to watch this through like bright flashing strobe lights. You're trying to really concentrate. It's really hard to concentrate. It's like the music is loud. It's like there's like lights. Someone comes out with a goat head on. A goat head, guys. A goat head. Like I can't make this stuff up. Like you just had to have been there, honestly. So there's like a goat head and it's like, ah! People are like fighting. People are hugging, people are kissing. Then all of a sudden there's like a freaking baby with blood all over it being held in the air. I'm like, where did this baby come from? Why has it got blood all over it? Why is there a goat head? Why are they screaming? What kind of demon is this? Satan, not today. So I'm starting to like feel uncomfortable. I'm like, I don't know what part of the story is. Is this a sacrifice? Was the baby a sacrifice? Like what is going on here? So then after all of that happens, they all leave and then that room goes quiet. And then I just ended up going to another room. I didn't bother following those actors to see where they were going for their next scene. I was like, I don't know parts. I don't want no parts. So I went to another room, saw some like couple, a pregnant woman, and she was like dancing and doing some contemporary dance with her, I guess, baby daddy, I don't know. So by then, Ahmet was there again. We were watching this, and then we ended up leaving to another room that I'd already been to. And I noticed that when I went to the other room that I've already been to, I saw the scene again that I've already seen. So then it started to register in my head, okay, cool. Every single room, they repeat the scenes enough times, so I guess the whole entire audience can see it. So I guess it gives everyone time to go through it, because the building is like 4 floors and it's got loads of rooms on each floor. So to go through all of the rooms, it will take a while. So I started to get tired. I just went back into the room where the woman was singing Family Valentine. I went back into that room and just sat down on one of the bar tables, because it was proper set out like a bar. There was tables, chairs everywhere. So I went right in the corner and sat down, and I thought, I'm literally just gonna sit here because I'm not getting these storylines. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling the demonicness. I'm not feeling the blood, and I'm not grasping a storyline. I can't piece everything I've seen together, and I was getting frustrated and I was tired. So I sat down and I just waited. I thought, whenever this is over, I guess the staff will come and tell you, because all the staff were basically planted around the building. They were wearing the exact same mask as us, but they were black. So it basically said on the wall also, if you feel like you want to be pulled out, just let someone with a black mask know and they will take you to the exit. So I thought I'll just sit, because I know the rest of my group is in here. They're exploring the room still. I was with Ahmet, but he was like, he's gonna go that way. So he went that way. So I basically sit down. The funny Valentine scene happens again. I see the actors come in. So I see it from the beginning this time. They come in, they play out the whole scene again. The more funny Valentine, that all happens again. And I guess there's some new people in that haven't seen that scene yet. They came in and they watched it. After that, I think that must have been the last time that they were going to be doing that scene, because then a bunch of the staff came and basically ushered us out and was like, go this way. So I was sitting there for maybe half an hour. I caught a quick nap, or like rest my head on the table, even though there was so much noise going on, but it was like so dark in there and so scary and so... I just wish I had visual representations to show you guys, because it was unreal. It was just unreal. So they ushered us to the room where the big sacrifice thing was happening again. Did not like that room, but they ushered us back there again. And they did that whole scene again of the baby, and then we all was basically ushered to go and follow them to the next room, which was another room. It was all of the actors there this time, all of the actors that I had seen, they were all sitting on this long kind of table. This looked like a Last Supper table. It was a long table. Everyone was sitting down. They were all raising a glass. They were doing a toast. People started looking at each other and kissing. I'm thinking, why are they kissing? Like a guy and a girl would kiss, and then the girl and a girl would kiss, and then a guy and a guy would kiss, and then they were all raising glasses, and people came out and there was like blood, and they just looked really I was like, what is this about to happen? Is this about to happen at orgy? Like, I don't understand why? What is this? How does this relate to the story? How do all of these people connect? Because I've just seen them all in like pairs doing separate scenes, and now they're all together on this table. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. So after we're just standing here, we're all watching this. There's a bunch of us in there at this point. So probably everyone that came to see the experience was in there. The room was packed. Like, it was a big room, but it was packed of all of us just staring at this scene with our masks on, like watching these people at the table giving toast and all that. After they start giving toasts, I think someone stood on the table. Just madness was going on. We ended up going to another room where it was like the same kind of people, and they were all gathering this one man, the one man that stood on the table. They were all gathering him, like bringing him up some stairs, basically to a noose. And I'm thinking, no, they're not about to just hang this man in the middle of this room right now. What is going on? So they're like leading him up the stairs to go and basically put the noose around his head. They put the noose around his head, and at this point we're in like a stand-up room, and it's very, very dark, gloomy. It's got like a blue tint to it. You can't really see it much except for what's on display, which is the actors. So I'm with Ahmet at this point. We're standing right next to each other. Like, I know it's him. We know each other. Why am I even mentioning that? Of course we know it's each other. So we've been together since the last room. So we're together now. We're standing here. And then Ahmet noticed a woman dressed in a maid's outfit, and she weren't wearing a mask. So I guess she was a part of the actors. So he nudges me on my arm, and then he basically points to the maid. And then I guess he's trying to say like, look, there's an actor right here, because she was standing right in the middle of all of, like, she was right next to us. You would think it would just be like, if I looked to the side, I would think it would just be someone else with another mask on here to watch the show. But no, it was actually a maid in her maid's outfit, and she like had this creepy smile on her face, and it was just like she was right there. So I'm like, oh, okay, so they're intertwining actors into the crowd, like standing right next to us. So he points. As soon as he points at her, she looks over to him. She's like, as she looks over to him, she grabs his hand and she pulls him towards her, and then she pulls him and puts her right in front of him like this. She puts Ahmet right in front of her, and then she basically takes his head, and then she physically puts her hands on his head and then turns it to where the man is standing with the noose around his neck. So I'm watching this woman the whole time, like, don't get twisted. Mind yourself kind of thing. So I'm looking at her the whole time. Ahmet's looking as his head was moved. And I'm guessing, okay, I guess we're both thinking, okay, cool. I guess she's saying basically, stop talking, don't point towards me, watch the show. Like, you're gonna watch what's about to happen right now. So the screaming's going on, madness is going on. It's just all looking very satanic and very demonic, and she's like holding his head. Next thing you know, after because she's holding his head for a while, she's holding his head here, making sure he's watching. After a little while, she starts to bring her hands down to his shoulders. She holds his shoulders and she squeezes them. I'm watching her the whole time. I'm not even watching the show no more, because you literally just came and grabbed my husband in front of my face and put him in front of you. So I'm watching you. I want to see what's going on. What's part of the act? This is going to be funny. I want to kiki too. Ha ha, kiki. But I'm just watching. She squeezes his shoulders. I'm thinking, why is she squeezing his shoulders? And she's smiling at the same time. She's got like this really creepy, she's like, and her eyes are closed. She's like, she's standing behind him. And mind you, she's standing very close. Her whole front of her body is touching my husband's back. Okay, she's very close up behind him. After she squeezes his shoulders, she brings her hands down to his hands. She holds his hands, guys. I'm not just talking like she grabs his hand like that. No, she interlocks her fingers in Ahmet's hands. She interlocks her fingers in my husband's hands. So I'm still trying to keep it cool. You guys know me already. Like, I get mad very quickly. I get vexed, but I'm keeping it cool. I'm like, okay, she's an actor. She's doing her job. This could have been anyone. Maybe she just chose Ahmet because he was pointing at her, but she probably would have did this to anybody else in this room. She could have did it to a female for all I know. She could have did it to me. She's just picking someone and she's doing her job, which is a part of the experience. But as I'm looking around, nobody else is doing this. Like, there's no other maids nowhere. There's no other actors in the crowd. I'm looking around and seeing nothing but masks. She's the only one in a crowd full of masks. I'm like, why is she the only one here? But again, I'm still not trying to think too deep into it. I'm like, it's whatever, it's whatever, it's whatever. And as she's holding his hands, she rests her head on his back. Why are you resting your dirty head on my husband's back? Like, I don't understand. She rests her head on his back. She's like smiling, looking like she's in a trance, like she's a hip weirdo. I don't know what she's doing. Eventually, the man that was in the news, he eventually hangs himself. He eventually jumps, hangs himself, and then the lights go out. As soon as the lights go out, you see like people in the black masks, which are the staff, they start ushering everybody over to the left. So we're all walking to the left. I look where Ahmet is. This maid is still holding his hand. She's holding his hand and she's leading him through the crowd. So I'm thinking, why is she leading him through the crowd? So at this point, she's holding his left hand. I grab onto his right hand because I'm like, wherever you're going, I'm going. Fuck you mean? Like, I don't understand. Why is she leading you through the crowd when I can clearly see everybody in the black masks is basically leading us all to go to the left? So I grab his right hand, she's holding his left and she's ahead of him walking. She turns around and I guess she notices my hand on his right hand. She notices that I'm holding his hand. Did this bitch not try to push me? Did this bitch not try to push my hand away? Did she not reach behind Ahmet's back? So imagine she's in front, Ahmet's here, she's holding his left hand with her, she's holding his left hand with her left hand. Did she not reach behind his back where I was on that side holding his right hand and try and push my hand? Did she not? Who are you swatting? I don't understand. When she did that, I shrugged her off and I'm holding his hand tight. I'm trying to say to Ahmet, there's music by the way, there's like really dum dum, like there's like some sounds. I wouldn't even call it music, it's just sounds going on. It's loud. Everyone's walking, it's loud. I'm trying to say to Ahmet, I'm coming to him, I'm like, Ahmet, let go of her hands. Let go of her hands. He's looking at me like he can't fling his hand off this woman and like he can't grab his hand away from this woman. I'm not understanding. Let go of her hand. Let go of the woman's hand. Tell her to get off. Like, I don't understand. So he didn't do that. She's still holding his hand. I'm still holding his hand. At this point, I'm squeezing his hand tighter because I'm like, I'm not going nowhere, you know. I'm not going nowhere. Again, she turns around as we're walking. Everyone's still walking. We're still walking, still walking. She turns around again and tries to push my hand and tries. This time she didn't push my shoulder. She actually grabs my hand and tries to pry my hands off of my husband's hand. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Are you actually dumb? So she tries to pry my hand off the hand. I think at this point I shouted, I said no. I think I said no. I said something, but whatever I said, it made her stop trying to take my hand off of his hand. So I'm still holding his hand. He's being pulled by her. I'm like pulling him like, nigga, I'm coming too. So then we get to like, a section where it's a bunch of stairs. There's either a way to go left or there's a way to go straight up. So basically all the staff with the black masks on, they're now separating the group because it's like a big group of maybe like 50 people. So I guess they're trying to like have 25 go left and then 25 go straight forward. So did the woman in the maid outfit not try and let them make me go straight forward while her and Ahmet go left? Are you dumb? Are you okay? Okay. When I saw her trying to do that, she tried to cut off where the cutoff point were. There were like a bunch of people in black masks basically barricading the area. So once all the 25 that went through, then the rest couldn't go. So basically they started barricading just after Ahmet, but I'm still holding Ahmet's hand. So I was literally about to get barricaded off. The way I pushed someone in front, I don't know who was in front of me, I pushed them so hard. I'm like, no, ain't nobody going straight. I'm going left. My husband's going left, I'm going left. I can see that the maid looked annoyed. I can see in her facial expression, she looked annoyed. She's thinking, this bitch, why is she pushing people? Why is she coming through? Whatever. So I'm still holding on to the hand. We're going through. Eventually we go through a curtain and we end up back in the bar that we started in. So the first bar where we entered is where we ended up. So I'm like, okay, cool. The experience is over now. We're back to the beginning. So now I let go of Ahmet's hand and I think, okay, I was a little bit heated, but do you know what? Maybe she was just doing her job. Maybe that's just me being extra because sometimes I feel like, am I being extra or am I not? I don't really know. So I'm like, okay, she's just doing her job. We're back in the bar now. Everyone's taking their masks off. When I notice people are taking their masks off, I start to take my mask off. So I'm like, okay, the experience is done. We're back in the beginning bar. That was great. What an experience. But the maid had other plans. So as we get back in the bar and I let go of Ahmet's hand, she had walked off for a few seconds, just enough seconds for me to think that was over, for me to take my mask off. Ahmet hadn't taken his mask off yet. He was kind of just looking around like, what the hell just happened? I guess he was confused confused. I was confused too. But as I was about to go over to freaking like start talking now, because we're allowed to speak now. Remember, during the whole experience, we're not allowed to speak. So as I'm about to go over so we can now verbally express what that just was, did the maid not just come back, take Ahmet's hand and pull him through like a beaded curtain so I could see through the curtain? It's not like a curtain I couldn't see through. She pulled him up on, it's like a step, it's like the bar's there, then there's a step with a curtain and there's like an area behind it. Did she not pull his hand and lead him and she's grabbing his shoulders again, leading him, put him against the wall in this place behind this red beaded curtain. At this point, I think let me just stand and actually watch. My mask is off now. I just want to see what's about to happen. So she puts him by the wall. She waits a few seconds. She like turns her back, does something. There's like a big piano there. She does something. And I guess she noticed that I wasn't there. Maybe she thought, oh yeah, that annoying bitch that kept on holding his hand ain't there anymore. So she turns around and then she starts caressing Ahmet's chest. I'm getting pissed off again even thinking about it. She starts putting her hand like on the side of his face. He's still wearing his mask. She starts doing that to his face. She starts doing that like back of her hands on his chest. She's getting really close. Like if he didn't have a mask on, they would have been kissing. At this point, I saw red. I'm not about to swear and get out of character in this. But I'm like, what the flip is she doing? So I basically go over and I literally give her the hardest shove in her chest. I'm like, bitch, the fuck? Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand what's going on. What part of the act is this? What part of the act is this? Like, what part of the act is this? What part of the act is this? Part of the act is this. I gave her one hard shove. She didn't even bother try and push me back. She kind of looked at me and she kind of just backed up. I grabbed Ahmet's hand so hard and I flipping yanked him out of that damn curtain and yanked him all the way out the damn room. I'm like, what the flip are you doing, bruv? Like, what are you doing? Why are you letting this flimsy woman pull you ever and everywhere? It's like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I thought it was part of the act. Like, I don't understand what's going on. I was trying to figure out what's happening. I didn't know if that was like, if it was part of the experience. I'm like, what part of the experience is this? Ain't nobody else getting experience but you know? No one else is getting experience. And he's like getting angry at me. He's like, I've got a mask on. She doesn't even know what I look like, because I guess he's trying to say that I was implying that I don't think I was implying that she pinpointed him, because I don't know, like he said, everybody was in masks. I wasn't like trying to imply that she pinpointed him because she wanted him. I'm just saying, regardless, she knows we're together because she knows we were standing next to each other and we were talking, which is why you pointed at her. She grabbed you over. Like, she knew we were together. Even from when she was like trying to hold your hand and drag, I was holding your hand too. She knew we were together. So I don't care if she doesn't know what you look like. She probably saw you when you came in. Like, he was wearing some big like Hawaiian flowery shirt. He was the only person in that building wearing that shirt. This woman could have easily seen him when we entered, remembered his shirt. Just because you're wearing a mask, you think your flowery Hawaiian shirt is all of a sudden invisible. I was pissed at him. I was pissed at her. I was pissed at myself for not knocking her out. Like, I was just pissed. I was angry. I was shaking. I was literally shaking like, Ahmet, how freaking dare you let this happen in front of my eyes? How am I standing here watching another woman do this to the side of your face and do that on your chest, and I'm just standing there? Like, am I stupid? What part of the experience is this? What part of the experience is this? I'm gonna keep saying, what part of the experience is this? Guys, what part of the experience was this? Please tell me. Can you let me know what part of the experience this was? Like, I really want to know. Ahmet's trying to laugh it off. The rest of the group is like clearly seeing that I'm bothered by something, but they're trying to stay out of it because they're just like, yeah, I'm not involved. Like, I don't know what happened. I didn't see. They're all just in the group talking about the experience. I start like shaking. I'm like crying, tears. I'm crying because I'm so angry. Like, I'm just so angry that I didn't do something. It all happened so fast that I just, like I wanted to go and find the woman and fight her. But I'm like, maybe that was her job. But what kind of job? What kind of business are they running here? What kind of business is this? So Ahmet's just trying to laugh it off, which is pissing me off even more. Like, don't laugh when I'm being dead serious. This really has angered me, so don't laugh and make it seem lighthearted, like it's a joke. Like, it's just an experience. It's just a job. She didn't do anything. She couldn't even see my face. I was still wearing a mask. I don't care. She put her hands on you. Like, sorry, you have signs all around this building saying to not hold hands, don't talk to each other, don't touch each other. Where did we didn't sign no contracts when we walked in this. We didn't sign no waivers that says the actors are allowed to touch us, or the actors are allowed to be in our face, or the actors are allowed to pull us. So who said we came here for this experience? We came here to watch. which is what I did. Ain't nobody touched me. Ain't nobody pull me around the building. Like, we came here to watch you act. We watched you act, and then we should be able to leave. Who are you to be pulling someone through a crowd? Who are you to be pushing my hand away? Like, get out of here. Like, you really want to fight? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how you lot do it in China, but it's not working. It's not working for me. It's not working for me. So I'm just pissed. As you guys saw on the vlog, I didn't want to speak, and that pissed me off even more that Ahmet wanted to vlog when I was genuinely pissed off. Like, don't genuinely vlog when you know what just, like, you know what I'm pissed about and you know what just happened. But obviously, he, in his defense, he's just like, I want to keep the vlog going because we vlogged before we went in saying we're about to go to this experience, it's about to be sick, we can't wait, we can't film, so don't worry, we'll come back when we're done. So I guess he was keeping that promise of we'll come back when we're done. For me, it's just like, if that was the other way around, if a dude was in there pulling me around, pushing Ahmet's hand off. Ahmet didn't know that the maid was pushing my hand, so he told me. But he said if he wouldn't have known, then it would have been a different scenario. Well, I'll never know now, but he's like, I didn't know that she was trying to pull your hand away or push you behind my back. I didn't know that. I thought it was just part of the act. I was just going along with the act because, like, everyone's here. It's not like we're solo dolo. Like, there's a bunch of people here, so I thought it was just all part of the show. So I'm just like saying to him, imagine that was a dude pulling me, pushing your hand, da 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 da, and then he brings me behind some curtain and starts doing that. Like, come on now. And then he's like, okay, I get why you're pissed, but just know I didn't do anything on purpose to upset you. I'm like, okay, I get it, but I still feel like he should have pulled his hand away from in the room when she was pulling him. When I was trying to say to him, I don't know if he heard me or not, he should have pulled his hand away. Let me know if I'm overreacting. Let me know what you would have done in that situation, because I've been told that I'm dramatic. I've been told that I take things overboard. Let me know. Am I being dramatic? Am I being overboard? Am I justified in being pissed off? Am I justified or not? I won't get offended if you think I've overreacted. It is what it is. It's happened. Can't go back. That is just genuinely how I felt. My genuine emotion was anger. My genuine emotion was fight. My genuine emotion, I just had to freaking take myself out of the situation. I had to pull Ahmet out of the situation, and just because I literally would have fought her. After I pushed the woman in her chest, like, I wanted her so badly to post up, like, square up, bitch. Like, I wanted her so badly to retaliate after I pushed her in the chest. But when she didn't, I could see that she kind of was just like, okay, do you know what? F this. This little Hawaiian shirt dude ain't worth all this drama. Like, this bitch ain't getting nowhere, so let me just whatever. When I noticed she was on that kind of flex, that's when I dragged Ahmet out. But, like, honestly, I wouldn't do one of those experiences again. I didn't enjoy it. Even before all of that happened, it was a very different experience, and I can understand why a lot of people would enjoy that. It's like, it's very, very real. It's very real. Like, you feel like you're really in some shit. But I just wouldn't do it again. I didn't like the satanic stuff and the blood and the goat head and the sacrificing babies. Like, I don't like all of that sort of stuff. So for that, I was already, like, on edge because of all of that. I was already like, is this over yet? Can this hurry up and be over? I was pissed the whole night. Then we went to karaoke, and then I kind of like cheered up. I forced myself to cheer up because I was honestly pissed the whole entire time. Like, I weren't trying to talk to Ahmet. I weren't trying to do nothing. I wasn't trying to talk to nobody. Like, I was angry. But yeah, that's what happened in the room in China. It wasn't really a room, it was like the big building, but that's what happened. And yeah, I really feel like that maid tried me. She got away with it. That's how I honestly feel. So even telling the story now, I'm getting pissed again because I feel like she tried me and she got away with it. I stood right there. I was right there, and she did it in front of my face like I'm a dickhead. And all now, I still don't know if she really does work there, because I don't understand why she was the only one on the floor with everybody who was watching. Like, why are you the only one dressed in this maid's outfit? And mind you, I didn't see her in one scene. I did not see her in one scene out of every single room I went into when I was watching all the scenes. I did not see her in one. I don't know who she was. I don't know where she come from. All I know is I'm not impressed. I don't like it. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay? And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.